So in this video we're going to detail some of the transitions that happened in the first section of the 37 movement Yang style form. So I'm going to go through the form, but each time I get to a particular transition that I think needs to be highlighted that probably isn't going to make it into the specific individual form video, I'll stop there and go through some of the details of those transitions. So we have beginning of Tai Chi. I'm going to kind of go through the actual movements kind of quickly. And already now we're going to stop and detail this transition. So getting into ward off left, we have this turn, we have holding the ball here, turn out, shift, and draw the foot up. Then we step into the ward off left. So I'm just going to do that, detail that transition right there. After the beginning of Tai Chi, we're in this position, we've sunk down a little bit, and our palms are pressing down about the height of the dantian. I'm going to sink a little bit more into the left foot and pull the left hip back. And I'm going to close the upper gate. That's going to bring the right hand across the front here. But be careful not to fold your arm over so where your arm is crossing your center line. It's mostly the turn of the body that moves the arm that way and a little bit of closing the gate. So when you're done with that, your wrist will be just on the inside of your center line. It's just that your center line's going off at an angle now, okay? So once again, another optical illusion of Yang style Tai Chi. So we're gonna shift, sinking into the left, pulling the left hip back, closing the upper gate. As I do so, I'm rolling the hand, but now here's another thing to watch out for. Don't roll the elbow up and get your shoulder impinged or overly stretched here, distended. You want to roll the hand kind of like you're twisting a big knob, you know, a valve or something this way. Don't like this, just there, okay? That'll keep your elbow down, keep your shoulder relaxed. At the same time, I'm doing that, I'm going to turn my left hand, not all the way under, but about here. So it's pull the left hip back, okay? Now then I'm going to turn back with my weight staying in the left leg. I'm going to turn back to face the front by pulling my right hip back. As I do that, that's going to pull my elbow. I'm going to allow that to pull, and I'm opening slightly the gates to get that hand to come back here, and I finish that coil with the left hand. So it's from here, it's shift, and there, okay? Now I've got most of my weight in the left leg, so I can pick my right toes up and pull the right hip back, which I'd already done. Actually, if you will back up a second, I pull the left hip, I pull the right hip to get back facing forward, I continue the pull of the right hip to open up. Now there though, I have to open both both hip joints, and I turn my body to face 45 degrees and my feet are at 90 degrees, okay? So I'm not turning my whole body to the side because you'll tweak that left knee. So I'm here, and then I'm going to continue to face 45 degrees. I haven't turned that way yet until I shift and sink my weight into the right foot. When I can release that left foot, then I'll pull again with the right hip to turn all the way here. Okay? If you pull too soon before your weight's shifted over, you will tweak your left knee. It's not a guarantee, it's a promise. That doesn't mean anything. So here we are. We pull the left hip. We pull the right hip. Keep pulling the right hip and turn out the right foot, opening the quad. Shift. Release the left foot. Pull the right hip again, drawing the left foot up. Okay? That's the transition into ward off left. Then you do the rest of the move. I'll just go ahead and do it. Now then we have our next transition already. This is the transition from ward off left to grasped bird's tail. We're going to shift back, sink our weight sitting back into the right leg, pull the right hip back. And so from here, I'm going to pull and shift at the same time. As I do that, both hands are going to rotate. My left hand is going to rotate palm down. My right hand is going to rotate palm sort of towards me. It's not really up. It's sort of kind of in like that. If I do it actually facing this way, it's a little easier to see. I've done my ward off left, and you can see there. Okay. Then I'm going to raise the right hand as I shift back into the left foot. I again haven't turned my body. In this case, it's not quite as critical. I could turn my body because my feet are at 45-degree angles. So I'm not going to hurt my knee, but I want to save that turn, though, for that action. Okay, so that's why I don't turn on that one. It's not a requirement to do it that way, but it's my preference. So we've started the form here. We did the transition. We did ward off left, shift, back and turn. Raise the right hand as you shift. Like the upper gate's fairly open. Then I'm going to close the upper gate, pull the left hip back, and draw the foot in all at once. Now we take our step out. We do grass bird's tail. Okay, going kind of fast through it. Single whip. This is the transition, but we went over it in the video for single whip, so I'm not going to bother with anything there. But there you got to see it again. Okay, lifting hands. This is a transition right here. It's really simple, but it's short. But you know, what we're doing is sitting down into the back leg and dropping both elbows. I'm dropping both elbows and letting that rotate my hands. Don't flip your hands over like this. You want to sink the elbow down, and that's how the hand rotates. So it's not picking up the hand, it's dropping the elbows. As you do that, you'll let go of the crane hook with the right hand. And we turn, and then there's lifting hands. We'll detail that as its own specific movement, and this transition into bump. All that will be a separate video. White crane fans its wings, also a separate video. We did this here. This is where in a brush knee twist video I started kind of from holding the ball. I don't really quite get there in the form actually, but we just do that. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. Okay, here's the one that I want to also highlight, is going from right brush knee twist to left brush knee twist, although that doesn't happen like that in the 37, but I do want to do this transition. Normally in the 37 it goes to play the lute right there, but in the short form it goes brush knee twist left, brush knee twist. So I'm going to do that transition even though it's not in the 37. We finished the brush knee twist right, shift your weight back, picking up the left toes, and I'm dropping my elbow a little bit. Then I'm going to turn, and the turn I'm going to use to turn my left foot out, and that turn is also going to bring the right hand across. And I kind of, again, don't quite get to holding the ball, but I kind of hint at it right there because I'm bringing the left hand in, or turning it. Then shift. I haven't finished the turn all the way. If you can't really see this, but if I face this way, you can. From here, my body is only facing forward. Then when I shift in and draw that foot in, I'll finish the turn out. Okay, so here, turn. The way I get that, I'm facing forward at the end of brush knee twist. So as I shift back, I turn my body out a little bit by pulling my right hip back. I know this is really splitting hairs, but I pull that right hip just a hair. Now I pull the left hip and open the quad. Then shift, I'm facing forward, release the right foot, and turn. Then I finish that. Okay? But that happens in the short form. It happens later in the 37 where we do 3 brush knee twists in a row, but I figured I'd put that transition in now in case you're working on the short form and you just want to know that one. In the 37 though, what happens is from brush knee twist we just get to play the lute, which it's straight into it. There's no, and then that transition there from play the lute is just like we talked about before in the brush knee twist form. Another one of these. Now we have a transition from brush knee twist to block down parry and punch. This is going to be shift back, same sit back as going from one brush knee twist to the next. Same turn. So in other words, I shift back a little bit and pull my right hip back just a hair. Then when I turn, I'm dropping the right hand down instead of bringing it across. I'm dropping it down and I turn back to square up here. If I turn to the corner here already, I'm going to yank my right knee. So that's why I turn out a little bit here and then turn back to the front there. Okay, it keeps my knee happy, and it's very important to keep your knee happy. So back, turn, and I drop the right hand down, settle into the front leg. Then I turn the rest of the way as I bring my right foot up, and the right hand will come across this front part. But again, same as before, I don't go across my own body. It goes to here. You'll notice that my center line's there, and the wrist is right on the center line. I'm not crossing my arm across me, okay? So that's the transition for block down, parry, and punch. When we finish that move, well, we'll detail that move in a separate video again. Then the withdraw and push, there's just a little detail here, and that is when we finish block down, parry, and punch, the left hand is on the inside of our right arm. It can be sort of anywhere in this vicinity that you like. What I'm going to do though is drop the fingers underneath and wipe off the arm as I sit back. So we finish the block down, parry, and punch here, then I'm coming back like that. Okay, so I drop the fingers of my left hand from the inside of my arm to the outside. And it's easier if you just drop your hand down and then close the gates. So I'm not really going like this. That's just too much of a weird, clunky thing. I'm dropping the left hand down and then closing the gates. Both arms kind of fold in. Again, I'm not going like that. Then now I have both my arms crossing to the other side. I don't really want that. I get the wrists to where my wrists are practically on top of each other, except I'm back like this, okay? And then as I pull back, it wipes off. So I'm not getting my arms crossed really, just there. And it doesn't have to be way up high, just a little bit like that, just wiping off the outside of the arm. And then we do that. And then we do crossing hands. So that's as far as this video is going to go. These detailed transitions are going to be done in 4 videos. And I've broken the 37 form up into 4 sections. That way it won't be a 30-minute video each one. So that's it for this one, and we'll see you in the next one.